Hey everyone, it's Jack from WhatCulture.com, fresh off our SmackDown live stream last night alongside King Ross. He is your friend, he is your friend, and what a wonderful night we had. But we thought SmackDown was pretty bad. Will it be any better upon review? Let's find out, as I've got all the ups and all those delicious downs as well from this week's SmackDown Live. And we open with everyone's favourite superstar of the moment, James Ellsworth, my spirit animal, as it were. He came out of the ring devastated for costing Dean Ambrose a shot at the WWE Championship last week, and he apologised. He said, "Dean, I'm really sorry." Dean Ambrose came out, and this was a very good promo performance from Dean. He looked livid, then he was forgiving. The one thing I will say was he was a bit of a bully. He called Ellsworth E.T. That's be a star, Dean. Then AJ Styles came out and he was in full dick heel mode. He came out, he said, "No, Ellsworth, you should be proud of what you've done," and all the rest of it. Caused an argument. Ellsworth got in between the two. Styles pushed him into Ambrose and then used that distraction to hit him with the phenomenal forearm. Good opening segment, not much in the way of actual action, but the promo work was solid enough for it to be our first up of the week. Now we move on to our opening match, Randy Orton, or Randy Wyatt, versus Kane. And it was a very short affair. The Wyatt thing hit halfway through, and then it came, the lights came back up, and Wyatt and Luke Harper were in the ring. And they helped Randy Orton distract Kane. Orton won, and then he threw Kane to them like a sacrificial big red lamb, and it didn't last very long. I can't give it an up or a down because all of this angle between Orton and the Wyatts very much depends on the payoff. If it turns out, as I've said, to just be Randy going, "I've outsmarted you," and then he beats Bray Wyatt, I'm gonna reimburse all these downs that I've been banking away. But for now, it's neither an up nor a down. Now we move on to a women's tag team match between Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch versus Carmella and Alexa Bliss. And it was short, but all right. I mean, there was a big dirty advert break right in the middle, which sort of ruined the match of all its momentum, but that's not the fault of the girls in the ring. They did quite well. It was a very interesting finish as Alexa Bliss raked the eyes of Becky Lynch behind the referee's back and then hit her with a DDT. And that finish the match. The DDT's a finisher again. Who can believe it? Just yesterday on the SmackDown Preview podcast alongside Joe and King Ross, I said, look, the DDT should be a finisher, absolutely. And I don't mean like a Dirty Deeds DDT or an even flow DDT, just a normal DDT. Alexa Bliss decapitated Becky with a DDT, and it is a finisher again. What a coincidence. And it was a decent match as well, so I'm giving it an up. Now we get to the worst part of the show. In my mind, even though it was really innocuous, one of the worst things I've seen on any wrestling show all year. Natalya was backstage with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, and she was saying, "Please let me be on the SmackDown Women's Survivor Series team." And then they were saying, no, you lost your qualifying match. And then she said, "All right, let me coach the team." And then Bryan went, "I'm not sure." And then Shane said the worst thing I think I've ever heard him say. He said, no, to be fair, Daniel, on Total Divas, Natalya does get on with like Nikki and them, so just let her on the team. So basically what he said there is, yeah, they don't get on SmackDown, but outside of kayfabe, they're best friends, so you might as well make her the coach of the team. What the f***? Down, f*** off. And unfortunately, we moved from one down straight into another as we next had a tag team match between American Alpha, Jordan and Gable, against Kenny and Mikey from the Spirit Squad. It was a basic squash match. And it was sort of robbed of all suspense because we knew that American Alpha were going to be in the SmackDown Tag Team Survivor Series tag team match team. But they could have dragged out the match a little bit longer. They could have had some more hope spots for the Spirit Squad. It was a bit of a pointless squash, and I'm going to have to give it a down. Next up, a very, very strong promo segment of Miz TV with Daniel Bryan as the special guest. Sparks were sure to fly, and they certainly did. Bryan and Miz fired some shots at each other. There was some shooty comments made. But obviously, I guess it was all run between them beforehand backstage, but it seemed like there was a lot of genuine hatred there, and that's exactly what you want a good promo segment to get across. No complaints here, very good segment. Up. And God, we're really rattling through this at a rapid pace now. Lots of little short segments with not much achieved. Dolph Ziegler versus Kurt Hawkins. It was Kurt Hawkins' proper debut, and he lost in about 8 seconds with a super kick. This does nothing for either man. I can see you rubbing your head there. What are your thoughts?
It's the worst gimmick in years.
Worst gimmick in years. I have to agree, probably one of the worst. It's a down. Now we get another one of those pointless 1 or 2 minute squash matches for a tag team berth in the Survivor Series SmackDown team. The Headbangers, my boys from the Attitude Era, lost to the Usos in about a minute and a half via a roll-up. There was never any sort of question that the Headbangers could have won. They got very little offense in. I'm giving it a down as well. SmackDown, Sort it out this week, lads. And now, a match that is sure to divide a lot of opinion. The main event of SmackDown Live this week between Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles. Daniel Bryan gave Ambrose another shot because he's a babyface, and Bryan's biased towards babyfaces. But he did say on the condition that if Ambrose loses, he's never getting another shot at Styles' WWE Championship ever again. So, a lot on the line here, and who should get involved in the match, despite explicitly being told to stay backstage. That little rascal, James Ellsworth. Midway through the match, James Ellsworth tottered out on his wrinkly little hot dog legs. He can't really move well, can he? Not like a normal person. Not like a normal person at all. And he got in the ring, but he was about to get involved. Then security came out and chased him away, and they had a weird sort of Benny Hill chase all the way around the arena. It was very corny. It was very corny Collins. Then he got back to ringside, though. He evaded them, and you could see the security guards having to really slow down to not catch him. It was hilarious. Then he got back to ringside. AJ Styles seemed to have had the match won, but he jumped off the apron very vindictively and pounced James Ellsworth over the announce table like Monty Brown from TNA. It was unbelievable. He flattened him. Then Ambrose used this distraction to sort of regain a bit of strength. AJ flew off the ropes with the phenomenal forearm attempt. Ambrose booted him a little bit low. Was it a low blow? Who knows? Hit him with the dirty deeds, 1, 2, 3, and he's got himself another title shot. Any segment with James Ellsworth is going to divide opinion, but I enjoyed this, and I thought they were going to run out of ways to make Ellsworth relevant, and I thought they were going to have to just axe him at some point. But it worked, and I've got to give it an up, especially because of James's little wee happy face as the security guards carted him out at the end. And Ambrose gave him a nice little hug, and then he fell over. It was genius. Really, really good stuff. So there we have all the ups and all the downs from this week's SmackDown Live. It's a draw. It's 4 ups versus 4 downs. Not as good a show as normal, I'd say, from SmackDown. The main event delivered. The promo segments generally hit all the right notes, but a lot of the matches were just filler. It's an even show in my mind, half up and half bad. Nothing outweighed the other. Hopefully SmackDown can improve next week, but until then, I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Jack_the Jobber. Thank you for watching Ups and Downs, and I'll see you soon.